What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Today, we're going to discuss why men need to build, conquer, and kill things. We're going to get into the psychology of a man. Why does a man need to do these things? And this is very important because we're suffering. Well, men are suffering because the defined paths are no longer there. Oh, let me just throw this out. 50% off of everything at Hustlers, excuse me, Kung Fu Life Skills.com until later on tonight. So use the code Hustler in the coupon code box. So why do men need to build? How many of you have children? You've got boys and you've got girls, and they're different. They come out the womb this way. And this is why I feel a lot of this social engineering is just that social engineering, because boy energy is different than girl energy. And one of the reasons that so many men are depressed, don't feel good about themselves, don't have high self-esteem, is because they're not building anything. They're not conquering anything. And of course, they're not killing anything. So a big part of what's going on has to do with where men find themselves to be. Because I want to say thank you to the gentlemen and the ladies who watch this channel, who bought the products, more importantly, took action, and you're getting results. Your lives are changing. I really appreciate that. It's just funny. So it isn't a man's nature to build. And this is why you have typically young men who grow up in a bad situation where there is no strong masculine influence. Nothing. Just mama's boyfriend, Jody, who just sliding in, sliding out. No one's just going to say, hey, young man, this is how you should do it. So you have this vast sea of men who are lost. You have this vast sea of men who don't understand. I'll give you an example. On my The Dominant Male page, it's on Facebook, I post stuff there. I have all of these weak, curious men leaving these whack comments consistently. Because the post is, even if you're married and have money, you need game. And to their limited mindsets, they're like, I have money, I don't need game. That's what the money's for. And fundamentally, I can show you, example after example of where Robert Kraft, owner of the Patriots, got caught up in some stupid stuff. Tiger Woods. There's many guys who, because they had no game, none whatsoever, got themselves in harm's way. So even if you are handsome, you have a six-pack, you have money, you still need game. And this is one of the things that throws people. So what does this have to do with the hustler kung fu side? Because I know many is like, hey, this should be on the Disruptive Male channel. Building. This is what we do here at Hustlers Kung Fu Lifeskills.com. We build. And some of you were not truly happy until you started to build something, until you started to shape up and start to put some stuff together. Because building is in your DNA. Take the Great Pyramids of Egypt. Why did they build these big old massive monuments in the middle of a desert? Somebody said, Ramses, let's build some big old pyramids. Okay. That was it. That was it. That's how that conversation went. They didn't have no long drawn out, because it's in a man's nature for adventure, to test things, to test himself. And one of the cornerstones of the dominant man is economics. You got to build your economics. And I know this is one of these boring topics that a lot of people are not going to watch, but this is the stuff people need to watch. It is in your DNA to build. This is why you're damn near suicidal in your job. This is why you have problems with your woman, because you are not building. And it's in your DNA. Once you get on the path of building something, whatever it may be, you're going to be happier. You're going to have more pep in your step. You're going to be rolling around like a boss. Your energy is going to change. But you have many folks who they're not really trying to do the work or do work. I'm here to tell you, if you do work, you'll change your life. Change your circumstances, change everything about yourself. If you do work. And there are many people who are looking to build a business quick, fast, and easy. I don't have any of that. I'm fresh out of quick, fast, and easy. Let me tell you what I do have. I have a template. I have blueprints on how to be successful. But it won't be quick. It won't be fast. It won't be easy. It's going to press upon you. It's going to push upon your manhood. It's going to make you more accountable. It's going to make you stand up. Because, see, success, ask yourself this. Why aren't most people successful? I remember the old Hustlers Kung Fu group. There's a woman in New York. She was a waitress or something. She had 4 jobs. She was working herself to an early grave. And people like, man, she busting. She a hard worker, and there was like a lot of props. I took a different take. That person was me when I did not have the skill sets. Once again, if you have an income problem, you don't have enough money, you're always trying to rob Peter to pay Paul, you have a skill set problem. You don't have an income problem. The income that you're making is based upon the current skills you have. Until you increase those said skill sets, you're not going to make any more money. And this is what this poor woman was. She was working all these hours, working all these jobs, but she was never going to reach escape velocity by doing that. It ain't gonna happen. The money, income, and profits down right now. So it's only 50% off of Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills. So this is the lesson I learned as a man in a boarding house. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke nothing. I wasn't on drugs. Most days I had a clear head. And when I finally put it all together, it wasn't about hard work. It was about strategic hard work. So all of that, working on the ice truck, ice, baby, slinging ice, doing all this other stuff. I was just doing hard work. I was just a body there for a check. I was doing nothing to move my future forward. Nothing. Nothing at all. And this is one of the things that I want you guys to understand about building. You must strategically build. Anybody can go out and get a job and work tremendously hard. If hard work got you rich, there would be no ghettos. People who live in the ghettos, who have to ride public transportation, are probably some of the hardest working people on the planet. They spend hours of their life force riding public transit, waiting on stuff to get to a job that pays them $8 an hour up to maybe $15 an hour. They work hard, man, but they're not strategically working. They're not strategically putting something together. So this is what I want you guys to do today. Take out a pen, paper, and write out your strategic long-term goal. Because you can have a hustle to get money now. You know, storage auctions. I could turn a unit around in a week or less, depending on what was in there. So that was pretty fast money. Reselling, flipping is pretty fast money. So you can have yourself a hustle to slide some money into your pockets. But also be working on a long-term business model. Because, I don't care if it takes you 10 years to get it started off. You got the money management course. You were doing what you need to do to keep yourself level, safe, and sane. 10 years to come and go. 10 years will be nothing. Because you're going to live longer than you think you are. Some of the people who listen to my voice are going to live to be 100. And in good health. Have your memory intact. Your wits about you. And you're going to think back to this conversation because you're probably 27 now. And you think you don't have enough time. It's like, I got to get it now. I got to get my mansion. I got to get my Lambo. I got to get that. So you're trying to shortchange the building process. And typically it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Because every few years, you notice all the internet guys, they move on to something else. Alex Becker was talking about Shopify, selling course on it. Left that, focusing on his own thing. The people you see out here today who are not working on a long-term business plan, they'll be gone tomorrow. You won't see them out here doing what they need to be doing. They just won't be out here. They'll be gone. because I'm going to tell you what my long-term plan is. Thanks, Royston Gibbs, for the $10 super chat. Appreciate your content, sir. Thank you. See, I'm going to turn Hustler's Kung Fu life skill into a permanent product. And I'm going to sell that for the next X amount of years. And then I'm going to flesh out Dominant Male, which I have a feeling will make more money than Hustler's Kung Fu life skills. Because what I was talking about, men need to build. Men need to kill stuff. Men need to conquer. And these are the antithesis of the messages that they're getting today. Men need to be kinder, gentler. Don't be a bully. Date a trans girl. Oh, yeah. That they real with that. They're like, heterosexual men should appreciate and date transgender women. They're pushing that. Because if you're a heterosexual male, they ain't nothing happy about dating a chick with a penis. There ain't no party going on there. I don't care how well or how feminine she presents, she still has a penis. And I don't know about you, but that's a problem for me. What are we going to do? Take them out and compare? Ooh, yours is bigger than mine. Let's go to dinner. What? You and your penis stay over there, and I'm going to be over here. I'm not going to harm you. I'm not even going to talk bad about you. I just don't want to date you. So, the average man is under assault. You have toxic masculinity. You toxic, bruh. The toxicity is the way that you think. Like not dating a trans girl. That's toxic masculinity. It could not be, oh, I don't want to date someone with a penis. No, it's got to be toxic masculinity. I remember years ago on my old page, there was this gay guy, and he used to talk about toxic masculinity. And I was like, bruh, you talking about me. I've not said anything about gay people. I've not harmed a gay person. Why you keep talking about me? I don't see my masculinity as toxic. I don't go out here and beat baby seals. What are you talking about? Well, it's just the unfriendliness towards the gay men. Well, it's not unfriendly. It's not unfriendliness. I just don't mess with y'all. If I meet you on the job and we got to work together, cool. But I'm not going to go hang out at any gay bars with you. I'm not rolling over to your house. Nope. You gay. I think there should be rules and separation there. I remember years ago, there was a guy who was very much like Bruce Jenner before he became Caitlyn. And, there was just something about this guy where I was like, I asked him one day, I said, are you gay? And he got deeply offended. He said, why are you asking me these questions? I just asked one question. Are you gay? Because you seem to be very friendly with the gay lifestyle. Because he went out with some gay guys to a gay bar. This is something no straight man in his right mind is going to do. I know, Be Real. I know he didn't want to kiss a tranny. And, and also, let's go back to why you got to build. Because let's reverse the situation. If Genuine tried to kiss this woman and this woman didn't want to be kissed by Genuine, it's called sexual assault. See, one of the things that men have to understand and why men have to build is to empower yourself to defend yourself. There was someone that tagged me talking about I should try to help this guy out who's fighting for his son. I already know, just listen to the story, there's things that aren't being said. He probably missed a court date or he did something, he didn't comply with the courts, and they don't have no love for you when you do that. Martin, if you straight, you don't have gay friends. It should be that cut and dry. If I have gay friends, I don't know that they're gay. Lovely Mayhem, I lost 35 pounds. The Honorable Jay, thank you for the $5 super chat. Glendon, I've been struggling with self-sabotage for years. What did you do to escape the madness? Thanks for all you do. The Honorable Jay, I was in a dark place my first year plus some months in that boarding house. I was full of self-loathing, and I was just like, how did I end up here with these people who are now my people? And what I figured out was some fundamental truth that I missed. Regardless of not if you do a good job, that doesn't matter. There's politics and everything. So what you need to do, and my advice to you, is to get a journal. And every day, write in this journal what you're feeling and what you would think. And sooner or later, you're going to spot a pattern where you have a lot of self-doubt, you self-sabotage, and then you're going to have to start to change that. For me, it was about halfway through my term at the boarding house, and you need to educate yourself. Power of Your Subconscious Mind, I recommend that. Lead the Field by Earl Nightingale, I recommend that. Unlimited Power by Anthony Robbins, I recommend that. And I started to feed my situation positive information, because the first year and a half in there, I was just wallowing in it. Man, I'm in this boarding house. Man, all I can get are these crappy jobs. Man, I was just wallowing in it. I really wasn't doing anything to change the situation. Jerry Marcellus. Yeah, it's the operating company. Lovely man, awesome sauce. Self-love is the answer to everything. I love myself so much, I say no to others all of the time. That's real. Because see, this is going back to the topic of why a man must build. Many men will put their mama, their auntie, virtually any woman before they will put themselves. Because to build, you need to be selfish. You need to have some of that self-love. When I was writing my first book, my mother got sick. Now, let's go to the backstory. My mother was legally blind for years. And while I was in the military, I used to get BAQ. So I was their sole source of income for 3 years. So we fast forward, she gets surgery. She can see things are going well. So we fast forward a few years. I'm exiting the storage auction business, and I'm working on my first book. And I get the call. Mom got sick. She got stuck in the tub. What are you going to do? And I didn't even have to think about it. It's like, bruh, I've been down this road before. My goal was to stay in the Army for 3 years, then go try to walk on to the University of Alabama football team. That got devastated because Mom got sick. I did that at that time, but I'm on my second dream. I've dreamed new dreams. So I can't do nothing right now. And in a huff of disgust, he hung up the phone. See, I'm the oldest. So it was going to fall on me again. And I I had to tell the story because it wasn't the first time. And then also to tell the story, one day it was a payday. I ain't getting no money. And I'm like, what happened? See, the military sent her papers that she needed to sign. She didn't fill them out. So they cut the BAQ off. And I was like, why didn't you fill out the paperwork? I just didn't. So for you to build, for you to practice some of this lovely mayhem, self-love, you're going to have to be selfish. You're going to have to cut people off because while you building, you're going to be busy. Because one of the things, and I know that some of you out there are some good guys. You would give a bum your shirt off your back. You trying to do all this good stuff out here because you were socialized to be a simp. I know that's hard to hear. It's harsh. It's brutal, but it's the truth of the matter. Because you being a little bit selfish, it's not really going to change who you are as a person. Yeah, Royston, you have to be selfish, man. Because I was working on my first book, and I knew that if I did what they wanted me to do, I probably wouldn't be talking to y'all today. This never would have happened. I'm being selective and answering phone call. Uncle got in his feelings. He got in his feelings. Thank you, Antonio Williams. What's up, Mark DC? Yeah, because you've got to practice some self-love because people, excuse me, people are selfish. And people will suck you until you dry as a husk. Appreciate it, Troy. Ben the bartender, guilty. And gave too much of myself to too many people. It makes you feel worse when you realize the people will take all you would give them until you have nothing left. And when you start getting selfish, they be like, you done changed. Be real. I had to cut off a lot of my friends because they were not trying to do better. The more I cut off, the more I realized that entrepreneurship is a lonely shit. Oh man, this is why you got to build, man. You got to be like Superman up in the fortress of solitude because building is lonely work because it's just you, your ideals, working on whatever you're working on. And it's just you that have to show up day after day after day after day to keep building. When I wrote my first book, I spent all that time alone. So definitely. All right, Sebastian. Because one of the things that's going to happen is if you fail to build, you're going to get old. And you're going to be 65, 70, 80, 90 years old. And it's going to be you and your thoughts. And you ain't going to be happy. One of the things I love to see is a bunch of old people who are friends. They've been friends for 30, 40, 50 years. Love that energy. There's a group of old people who are going to get old by themselves. They have no family. They have no friends. They have no one to come visit them in a nursing home. And see, building is more than building a business. You got to build a life. That last part is serious. You got to build friendships. Lance Brown almost got written up for being late for a watch for a female who could not manage her life. Dude, this is why I do not let low impulse control women in my life. They always have crisis. They always need money. They always got a situation. There's always something going on. Troy Jackson, just you and the old yeller. What's up, Charlton? Entrepreneurship is lonely, but I do enjoy talking to other passing entrepreneurs. Yeah, those are the best conversations because when you talk to someone else who's on the white horse and you on your white horse, you have a good conversation. Thanks for the $10 super chat, Ashton. Hey, Glendon, I started making content for my photography YouTube. I produced 20 videos, but I haven't posted. I've been learning keywords and AdSense. Should I post after making the marketing campaign? You need to go ahead and start posting now. You need to, all your first videos should be searchable videos. No, no videos like this where you're just chatting with folks. That's not going to help you in the beginning. All your videos need to be searchable about hot topics and learn SEO and keyword research. So that's going to take you a long, long way. So get those things down. But entrepreneurship is lonely, but I know the more you embrace it, the better your life gets because you build a company, you build a life, you build friendships. This is why I, had someone living with me for the longest because I knew that if I continued on, my ways were going to get the best of me. There would have been no room for anyone to come in. Black Seeds of Coach G, you're right, because there are old men who come home to cats and dogs as well. Sure thing, Ashton. Oh, yeah. We're going to have a bunch of cat people, dog people, because what does a dog do? Dog's happy to see you because you just came home. Sometimes they go crazy. Tail wagging. But other humans, we don't greet each other like that. We don't. So, a man's got to build. A man's got to build something to say he was here. Like, back in the day, there were so many things. A dude could start a farm. A dude could build a cabin. There's so many things he could do to mark that I was here, I was alive, and I mattered. Now you have a bunch of men who are building nothing. Not building a business, not building friendships, not building a life. They just out here floating, existing. And that's why they don't have masculine energy. God, I understand all my grandma's friends died. Now she's losing her eyesight at the age of 84. I believe it's a mental on her plus genetics. She's watching her friends die. That's a rough thing. What's up, Charles? Thanks for all of the knowledge you have shared. My life has changed for the better, at least twofold, and I don't even have a business started yet. The courses are great and are a big, big help. Thank you. Been the bartender. Absolutely. You get more done when you're alone. Absolutely. Makes a big, big difference because there's a point in the time when a man needs to be alone. He needs to be focusing on building. And when I say be alone, this isn't like forever, maybe 1 to 2 years or something like that. Because if you don't build, you're going to get old And you're going to recognize that you did not build anything when you could have been building. And then it doesn't help that the internet has made all of these teenagers rich. You sitting there like on the old school path, get a job, go to school, work hard. These kids are like, bump that. I'm going to do it now. And they go out and do it and they make money. And they're not old enough to have years and years of experience. They just figured out the internet. So as a man, you need to build, you need to conquer, because that's going to shift something in your soul. I can't tell you how awesome it was when I was the storage auction dude. Even the guys from the shows, they used to come in on the blogs because I was the man. And having that just for that 2.5 years was very important for my personal self-esteem because I had it. I did it. I experienced that. King Holden, is barber school better than jewelry school? Study real gold and diamonds for me to build my own business. Dude, what do you want to do? Never make a decision on, is this thing better than this thing? Ask yourself, what do you want to do? Because there's somebody who makes jewelry who's making $2 and $3 million a year. How many barbers make that? You don't know how good you may be. So I would not make that decision versus I'm gonna go to barber school. What does your heart tell you should do? Where does your real interest lie? Because you can make money doing anything. Because one of the things is that we as Black males are pushed into very limited, narrow confines. Because one thing I noticed, I'm going to tell y'all a little story about this. I'll tell a story first. I used to work in the Scottish Rite emergency room. And I used to get a little chatty with the patients. And sometimes they got my feelings hurt. Well, I was talking to this one guy and I told him I had taken the postal exam. And he's like, oh, for you, that's awesome. You should do that. You should do that. Great benefits, job for life. And it was like, dude, I can do more. I was insulted at his enthusiasm. And one of the things I've noticed is that here in Atlanta, that a lot of the postal workers are Black, but they're old and they got these knee braces. And I'm just glad I didn't do that. And I'm not saying being in the post office is a bad job. It just wasn't the job for me. It just wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't where I wanted to be, because I knew after all of this BS I went through with the family that there was great things I can do, and there's great things you can do. But you're going to have to get away from your upbringing. You may have to get away from some of your friends. You may have to get away from some other people. Because here's the thing, like all these athletes who got drafted, going to play ball this year. Some of them are trying to keep it real. They're trying to keep Pookie, Bam Bam, Ned, all these folks around them. And everybody can't go where you going. And I don't think they understand that, because there's this thing of keeping it real, keeping it organic, keeping it down. Well, you just last year you were in college, broke. This year you got a $15 million contract. Your life has changed, bruh. And if you're not aware of that, some of your old friends can drag you down because they can still want to be doing knucklehead stuff. If I was a young man in the NFL, I would sit down. I would probably save 50%, if not more, of my money. I would never go out. I would, as long as I'm in the league, I'm at home Saturday nights. I'm chilling. I'm just playing football, collecting these checks and buying rental properties. Because a lot of people don't understand the blessing that they have because they don't know what they don't know. I mean, a lot of black cheeks who want to go to nursing school and become an RN. Yeah, that's a secure job. Black Caesar, how's your relationships with your family today? Well, the family that I chose, my friendships, are awesome. The biological, I don't talk to any one of them in the immediate family. You definitely would have to lose some of your friends. I can go to the corner store and see the same guy standing outside. What is this business about just hanging out on the block? Even when I was a kid, I didn't do that stuff. Melanated avatar. Glendon currently enrolled in the parent operating course and not sure what I want the holding company to be. Any suggestion? I don't know what you mean. You know, holding company, for once again, is a company that just the purpose of a holding company is to collect money. It's not going to do business with anybody. You could call it any other name that you want it to. So, you know, once the operating company, which is formed and organized by the holding company, I don't really understand your question because the holding company is just to collect money. Black Caesar, I had to cut them off. I'll share a little story with you. I used to be friends with them on Facebook, and there was this bar that was called Vino Libra. And this was during when I was writing my book. And I, because I put myself on the budget, 1,500 bucks a month. I would go out once a week and have a drink, and that was my budget. And they would have these wine tastings, and I posted on Facebook, and the female family member had something to say because I was enjoying wine tasting. See, dealing with those jokers, they saw me as this small person. They didn't see me as the hero that paid bills, supported them. They don't see all that. They just saw me as who I used to be in high school. And for me to do anything different, that wasn't cool. They had something to say. So I had to get rid of all of them. And my mother's dead. She died. And, there's another side of the family that I do talk to. But the immediate family, because I had to cut them. I remember I was talking to my mom because I would see her like once or twice a year. And I had really was doing well financially. I had bought a nice new car and everything. And we went and get a sandwich. And she's like, "You driving this? What you do, is that legal?" That's her first question to me. And I said, "Yes, it is." Didn't tell them what I was doing because they could not encapsulate what I was. To the family, I was just this little dude who used to get in trouble in high school and do stupid stuff. To the world, I was a published and accomplished author. And your family will always try to keep you down. It's really crazy. They know nothing, live to swag. Dorian Gray had to do the same thing, Black Caesar. When you're on the path of success and progression and all they doing is throwing rocks, that's a problem. Glendon, I sent you, ask your question here, Al. And the sale doesn't end until the night. So I don't know what you're talking about. Holding company versus the child company. You're only going to file one tax form, and you're going to file a tax form for the holding company. So it's very simple. Be real. You are not supposed to enjoy wine tasting unless it's Mad Dog 2020. You know what only supposed to do what all the blacks in the hoods do? Pretty much. Doug, I remember when I was in college, I had some family members come visit and they saw my credit card machine. They asked if I was doing something illegal. Dude, that's crazy. Chris Monroe, allow no one to stop your success. Stay woke. Absolutely. Art Austin, I've cut everybody off with my lady and kids. Because, before she passed, my Aunt Bunny, she was almost 100. We used to have some of the best conversations because she was lively and feisty. And she knew what happened with the family. And she actually tried, she had reached out to them and they didn't even get back to her. They didn't even have the courage to get back to her because, see, when some people are wrong, they would rather die than to admit they were wrong. They would rather die than admit they were wrong. And I was dealing with stuff like that. So one of the big things that happens is in this thing called life, as you're building, you got to make decisions because as you stacking these bricks, if your family's like handing you bricks, all right. But if they snatching bricks or they throwing bricks at you, they got to go. I just don't have this thing because we blood that I have to tolerate your abuse. I simply do not. I mean, as someone who's traveled around the world and it's been treated like royalty by people who were strangers, I got treated by folks who barely knew me better than my own family. And I took notice of that because when you're building bad relationships, family stuff, this could cause a problem. Anthony Johnson, just like clockwork, summer ended, eBay sales turning up. You're a wise man. I'm glad I'm a progressive black man instead of searching girls sucking cucumber vids. Yeah, man. And wait till that first cold snap. Jabraz, my ex-girlfriend had a hard time admitting she was wrong. She did call me years later and apologize for her BS. Dude, some people would rather lose a limb than to say they were wrong. Ricardo Richards, I said something the other day, a bunch of 40-year-old men hanging out in front of a barbershop all day long. That's a big problem in that community. Okay, son, saying when I went to Sweden, Denmark, Germany, especially as a black man, you get treated like a king. I mean, it's when you start building on your path of building, you're going to have to get tools and supplies, and you're going to have to talk to other people, and you're going to have to develop relationships. As you build yourself, you build a life. Because when you start working on your economics, this is going to force you to meet people you normally would not meet in your regular walk of life. So this is another thing. People you don't know that well can be surprised, open, and helpful. Absolutely, Dora. Traveling, good deal, Gibbs. I'm in the military also, G. I want more in my life than working another 9 to 5, figuring out my options and what truly makes me happy. What's up, Perceptions Media? And see, that's the ticket. See, this is the thing, and you should, get Earl Nightingale's Lead to Field. No one tells you you can have whatever life you want. Many people feel that Well, my father was a firefighter and my uncle's a firefighter, so I'm going to go to firefighting school. Many people are shoehorned into professions because of guilt, social sanctions, family pride. I met this girl who was a pharmacist. She was Asian. Only reason she was a pharmacist because her father was a doctor and he wanted her to have a good job. She hated being a pharmacist, and it was causing all kinds of problems and stress with the family. Ashton, many people look at indoctrination as success. I noticed that when I shifted gears, it had me down for a bit, but I learned to be okay with it. Yep, Lead the Field by Earl Nightingale. Because see, once you start to get on this transitional path of becoming the best version of yourself, the real version of yourself, not some propped up version of expectations, there's going to be a period of adjustment. It's going to be a little rocky. It's going to be a little interesting, but it's worth it. Go Jim Be Fit. What's up? We don't have any rentals here, man. T Will. I don't know about that. But Weave the Guide by Pearl Brightengale. Check it out. Interesting. Okay. DJ Speechless. You can do both. And I'm going to give you the blueprint on how this. Because one of the things that you got to do is regurgitate social norms. Every kid does not need to go to college. So that's a lot of money and time right there. If you know that you want to have a family and a family is the most important thing to you, your actions should dictate that. You should find yourself a nice, kind, loving girl and have some kids with her and live your life. You can have both. The earlier you start on this path, the more time you have. Art Arson, I gave my 15-year-old son Lead the Field. Good deal, man. He also had to take the courses I purchased from you. He's not allowed to go through what I have. Awesome, man. That's a good father. Chris Monroe, sometimes you have to show your family a shut up check. Yeah, one of the things that I went through, like when my mother saw one of the BMWs, she was just so shocked because one of the things I came to understand was she had a very low opinion of me. Fortunately, I never adopted her opinion. And she had a low opinion of herself. There was some things that went down that she had so much shame and guilt for things she had done. And this is why honor is important. You know, I've done a lot of stuff, but I haven't lied. I haven't committed crimes. I haven't hurt people. So my shame thing is my shame cup is pretty slim. There ain't much in my shame cup. There ain't really a lot that I'm ashamed of. Nothing that really comes to mind. Because one of the things is, you know, you have to avoid what I call creating these shaming points where, you know, you just doing some stuff. Like she had a lot of shame. She had so many things that went on with her. The name is family sometimes tell you to walk a path they wanted and could succeed at, but want you to walk and feel unfulfilled. Yeah. You get family who will live vicariously through you because, you know, during their time, they couldn't make it happen. So they're going to pin all their hopes and wishes and dreams on you. So there is a big thing that happens. But with building and why you must build is so many things happen in the building process. And one of the things that I'm excited is I watch all these young entrepreneurs who are 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And they out here building stuff on the internet. Can you imagine being 22 years old with $1 million a year income? I mean, it's glorious. And they're doing this stuff under their own power. They're putting this stuff together in remarkable ways. And the thing is, you could do it too if you let some things go. Quinn Jackson, my ex-mentor and pastor of 17 years, is mad at me because I decided to live life on my terms versus his. He got so mad, he called my mother and threatened her about me, but I'm in my masculine. Good Lord. You know, this is funny how grown people feel that they can call someone in your family and tell you. I was dating this crazy chick who thought that if she got to my mother, she could tell on me. And I'm like, I'm grown. Whatever she thinks or says, that really has no impact on my life. Well, I need to tell your mother about your behavior. What are you going to tell her? You going to tell her that, I've been putting my dang-a-lang in you with reckless abandon. You going to tell her how hard I made you come, that you balled up in the corner at the bed and shook for about 5 minutes. You going to tell her that stuff? And you like, you so nasty. I'm like, that's so base, everything about sex. I'm like, you haven't shown me anything of a higher power from you. And this is one of the things that when you start to build, people can't baffle you with BS because you will know from your own hard work how things go. As children, we're told that we can be whatever we want to be, opposed to have the life you want if you start a business. The education system teaches students to become blue and white collar workers. Pretty much, because this is one of the things that got me when I was listening to Earl Nightingale. It was like, you have a choice to be whatever you want to be. And that's the first time I've ever heard anyone say that to me. It's like, yeah, I can make a choice. And I started making different choices. And my life got insanely better because I started picking choices that were in alignment with who I was. I'll tell y'all another story. When I was still married, we had a few periods of reconciliation, and I was journaling, and my ex-wife found my journals, and she challenged me. She said, "Who is this person?" I was like, "That's me." "Nah, they ain't you. I would be in love with this dude." And this is one of the things that there's always been about me. I've led such an interesting life that people love being up in my business. Love being up in my business. Quentin Jackson, growing up, I didn't know I could write my own destiny with my thoughts and actions. I was only told to trust the Lord. She didn't know who she had until it was too late. Pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, this chick told our children that she missed having sex with me. And my daughter told me that, and I was like, they ain't gonna never happen again. She said, I know. I ain't never going there again. Ever, ever, ever. No, 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 no. I will not be with the Kraken and taint my soul and have my soul snatched. The name is the crazy thing. The majors in college are called entrepreneurship, but at the end of the day, it's just overpriced and theoretical hustle porn. The people who usually don't start a business that makes money. Ganja, that's why I left the church 12 years ago. And this is something else too, in the dominant masculine frame. It is hard for you to believe that a white man died for you and is going to wash away your sins. That's just a hard thing for most dominant men to accept. So you've got those situations. But I'm just here to tell you that as a man, you need to be building. And let's say you missed out on your good years. You didn't build as a teenager. You didn't build in your 20s. You didn't build in your 30s. You're 40 some years old. You just got divorced. Your wife is being evil. Start building then. Start building where you are with what you have. Because, I can tell you as someone who went through a nasty divorce, the building is what saved me because I started working on myself. I started working on my blind spots and deficiencies. I knew where I was screwed up and I worked really hard on that because, as much as I like to blame everything on my ex-wife, it ain't true because I could have did things differently because if I had the knowledge back then that I have today, I wouldn't be divorced. It's about leadership. Because see, I had this felonious notion. I bought into feminism and it just did not serve me well. Because most women don't want to be feminists. They don't want to live that feminist life. Yep, Jerry. The Lord said you would become a preacher like your daddy. Perceptions media, I know, man. And if you study history, you know how color is. Well, the region that Jesus was supposed to exist in was hot. There's no way that he would have been pale. He would have been dark complected. Oh, we equal. Help me move this couch up 3 flights of stairs. I was that dude, man. And chicks would be looking at me like, and I had to let that go because they don't really want equality. So, gentlemen, you got to start building, putting stuff together, shaping things up. Religion is determined on where you're born on the planet. Some people don't realize how vast the planet is. Nope. Feminism is really about female supremacy. That's why I call it feminism. Could be. It could be. One of the biggest things that happens is once you start to build, because see, when you're building a house, it's real and solid. So you get honest feedback from building that house. So whenever you're building, you get honest feedback, and it's hard for people to BS you. It really is. All right. So for those of you who are interested, everything at hustlerskungfulifeskills.com, that's the only place, is 50% off today. The coupon code is Hustler, and it's going to go until like 12 o'clock tonight. So you can grab that. So with that, go ahead and get that. I'll see you guys later.